If you're going to your child's first IEP meeting, sometimes called an ARD for admission, review, and dismissal, it can feel like walking into a room where everyone else knows the language, the process, and the rules, and you're just trying to figure out where to sit. That's a lot. And when people start using terms like PLAF, accommodations, goals, services, minutes, LRE, and progress monitoring, it can feel overwhelming very quickly. So today, I want to explain usually what happens at an IEP meeting in plain language. Not legal jargon, not a giant special education lecture, just a practical overview so you can walk in feeling more prepared. I'm Brette K with the Educator, and I make educational expertise practical for parents. Today we are talking about your first IEP meeting. An IEP is an Individualized Education Plan. It's a plan for a child who qualifies for special education services, and the meeting is where the team discusses your child's needs and creates or reviews that plan. If this is your first one, please know this: you are allowed to ask questions and should. You are allowed to pause. You're allowed to say, "Can you explain that in a different way?" You do not have to understand every acronym the first time you hear it. Nobody hands parents a secret decoder ring at the door, though honestly, that would be helpful. So what exactly happens at an IEP meeting? Here in Texas, you may hear this called an ARD meeting. ARD stands for Admission, Review, and Dismissal, and it is the meeting where the team looks through your child's needs, services, goals, and support. If this meeting is after your child's testing, it may start with the eligibility. That is where the team reviews the evaluation results and determines whether your child qualifies for special education. Then the meeting usually moves right into the IEP planning portion. Usually the team will talk through several main areas. They will discuss your child's current performance. That means how your child is doing right now. Academically, behaviorally, socially, functionally, or in other areas connected to their needs. Then the team discusses goals. Goals are the skills your child will work on. Good goals should connect to your child's needs and be specific enough that progress can be measured. Then the team talks about services and support. That may include specialized instruction, related services, accommodations, modifications, or support in the classroom. The team may also discuss where services will happen, for example, in the general education classroom, in a small group, in a special education setting, or in a combination of settings. You may also hear about progress monitoring. This means how the school will track whether your child is making progress toward the goals. And throughout the meeting, you are part of the team. You can ask, what does that mean? How will that look during the school day? How will we know if it's working? What should I watch for at home? An IEP meeting is not supposed to be a mystery performance where the school talks and you nod politely. You are a valued member of the team and should participate. One of the most helpful things you can do during an IEP meeting is listen for the connection between your child's needs and the support in the plan. When the team talks about present levels or PLAF, they are describing how your child is doing right now. That may include strengths, but it may also include areas of weakness. So as you listen, pay attention to the concepts being named. Are they saying your child struggles with reading accuracy, written expression, following multi-step directions, staying engaged during independent work, managing frustration, finishing assignments, understanding grade level text? Those details matter because the rest of the IEP should connect back to those needs. If weakness is discussed in the present levels, listen for how the need is addressed. Is there a goal for it, an accommodation, a service, a behavior support, a classroom strategy? Not every single weakness needs its own separate goal, but the important needs should not just float around in the conversation and disappear. A helpful parent question is, can you show me where that need is supported in the IEP? That question is clear, respectful, and very practical. You're not trying to catch anyone. You are trying to understand how the plan supports your child. At an IEP meeting, there are usually several people. This may include a general education teacher, a special education teacher, an administrator or school representative, someone who can interpret evaluation results when needed, and you as the parent. Depending upon your child's needs, there may also be related service providers. That could be a speech-language pathologist, occupational therapist, counselor, dyslexia intervention provider, or another specialist. The exact team depends on your child and the purpose of the meeting. And yes, it can feel intimidating when there are several school staff members and you are the parent sitting there with your folder, your questions, and possibly your emergency coffee. But more people does not mean you are in trouble. It usually means different people have different roles in supporting your child. Try to remember you are all on the same team, gathered to support your child. For your first IEP meeting, you do not need to bring a suitcase of documents, but it does help to bring a few things: your questions, any important outside evaluations or medical information, notes about what you see at home, and a few examples if you have some. For reading, that might be a work sample, spelling patterns you notice, or how long homework takes. For behavior, that might be patterns, triggers, or strategies that help. For communication, that might be examples of what your child can explain clearly and where they struggle. You do not need to bring everything your child has ever done since preschool. Just bring the information that helps the team understand your child more clearly. Please don't be afraid to ask for plain language. If someone says, "We're proposing 30 minutes of specialized instruction in the resource setting," you can ask, "What will my child be doing during that time? Who will provide that support? How often will it happen? What class will they miss, if any? How will I know if it's helping?" Those are reasonable questions. You are not being difficult. You are trying to understand your child's plan. Your first IEP meeting can feel overwhelming, but the goal is not for you to become the expert overnight. The goal is for you to understand your child's needs, the support being offered, and how progress will be measured. You are part of the team. You can ask questions, you can take notes, you can request clarification, you can make suggestions, and you can say, "I need a minute to think about that." That is okay. If you have an IEP meeting coming up, grab my free IEP meeting guide at theeducator.com/resources. It will help you understand what to expect, what to ask, and how to feel more prepared. I'm Brette K with The Educator, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.